New upgrade means new features, and the first two features you're going to see are based about orientating the user. The first one is a demonstration of how to smash the gnomes, and the second one is a demonstration of how to interface with the game by either tapping or swiping. It's important in the first 30 seconds to really sell what the game is about, and this game's called Gnome Smash, and strangely enough, you smash the gnomes. The second thing people were finding confusing was in the top half of the screen, the game didn't respond. I restricted to tapping and swiping to the bottom half of the screen, and this broke their expectations, and they'd find it confusing and disorientating, and they'd get cranky over it. This is a continuous thing you'll see in game design. If you don't meet the users or the player's expectation, they'll get cranky and your game becomes quote-unquote dumb. So I will now allow swiping and tapping into the entire screen, and I'll hopefully be a bit more intuitive. That leads me into the second major expectation I was breaking. A lot of people saw this game as a level-by-level puzzle-solving game, and I'll come to why that is in a moment. But in a way to address that, I've added two new modes. The first being puzzle, and this is meant to be the easiest level, and you have to complete the first 30 levels in as few throws as possible. And if you die, you just go back to the level you're on. And this was explicitly spelled out to me by a couple of users who said, I don't want to go back to the start when I die. And they were quite cranky at me, and you've got to sit down and let your users be annoyed at you. You've got to see your little game design mistakes and let them express why they're wrong. The second mode we added was challenge, and this allows you 100 throws to try and get through as many levels as possible. And you get a free throw if you strike it. So if you were to strike 10 times, that leaves you 50 levels to do with 100 throws, so 2 throws per level. And why did I do all these two new modes? The major reason stems from a game design mistake I made. I tried to mix two genres, and I really missed some fundamental part about one of the genres called arcade. So I've mixed puzzle and arcade games. Arcade games have this real-time element to them, and if you don't interact with the game continuously, you will die. So Tetris, Pac-Man, Asteroids, Breakout, you are going to die if you stop playing and walk away. In Gnome Smash, that doesn't happen, so it doesn't match onto the genre. So I think people therefore are quite legitimate in thinking this is a puzzle game. You've got level by level progress and there's no real-time element to it. You can imagine this game a bit more like Space Invaders. If the gnomes just started coming down the screen, and they would eventually hit the bottom of the screen and you'd die and you just had to stop that from happening. That would be like, Gnome Invaders. Or you can make it like Fruit Ninja, where the gnomes sort of appear on the top of the screen. You've got to knock down as many as you can, and it just continuously happens for a period of time, and you get a score. And you could think of this as like Fruit Ninja or Gnome Ninja. And these become more arcade games because I don't have that real-time element there, which when I tried to cross the genres, I didn't fully understand that was a requirement. That is where this expectation that this is a puzzle game, level by level, is coming from. So at this point, you've just seen me get a tulip, and I'm about to get my first bee. This is something I left out of the other video. So you throw the pumpkin, and it hits the bee, and the bee comes down and stings some of the gnomes for you. I'll just clean up this gnome, and then we'll go into the final mode, which is arcade, which was the original game. And in this version, not a lot has changed. I'll just make it more explicit in the title screen, where it says 1 life strikes equals lives. So it's very important to try and get as many strikes as you can in this version, because you get bonus lives the more strikes you throw. And some of the levels are specifically designed so you can throw a strike. Level 3 is pretty much a give me level. You should just throw a strike on level 3, get your bonus life, and really propel yourself up into the higher levels. The general tactic on arcade is to just try and farm as many lives as you can in the bottom, say 15 levels, and that'll propel you into the top 40, 50, 60 levels. There's 3 people I know who have finished the game, so got to level 60. I was worried that I made it too hard, but they persisted and they ended up finishing it, so that's been good.